Welcome back, everyone. Another incredible day in markets on the heels of our strategies coming into the beginning of the week. The SPY, as you can see at the hard right edge of the screen there, has a wick on its daily candle. It did rise today on the ISM services data that we anticipated in advance, likely to provide a dollar downer and an upper on stocks. And indeed, we did see that in markets today. But we didn't quite get down all the way in yesterday's markets to test a very important area, that 515 area, and neither did we do so in pre-market today with the ADP private payrolls. Nonetheless, the market is in a spot where it has provided enough of an up with momentum to say modest follow-through is likely, but unfortunately, after having filled the gap that you see on the screen over here, we still have risk of a rise, and that gap is effectively right over there. We still have a risk of the rise falling apart at resistance of the weekly pivot line center, and that's this area right there, the purple and blue line. So thinking of the 523 area as a more important resistive structure can become quite important to those of you that are looking for follow through in this bullish bounce on markets that again came on data that shows weakness in the economy. Now, we did get that crackdown on the dollar, as you can see, as measured by UUP, a very significant move down on the dollar did ensue, and that's great. However, that move down on the dollar, again, as described to members in the active trader room over at becomebettertrader.com, and of course to folks listening in on wealth charts, it's a move down that is about this week. The dollar is still in an uptrend. Now, the overall trend formation has not broken, so to be quite clear, the risk of the dollar coming down today was identified. It then turns into potential opportunity for things like silver, which we helped identify in advance for members, and we did get quite a nice blast-off move. It was high-ho silver. Now, when you think about the move in terms of what could outperform in markets overall, we were looking for something that had the angle of rising tide in equities, driven by a data moment. On top of that, the rising tide in equities from that data also weakens the dollar, and the silver has an opportunity to outperform against gold from a ratio standpoint. Silver responds positively when the dollar goes down, and here we are. But you take both of those and put them together, well, you get a silver miner ETF. So we identified junior silver miners, the SILJ ETF, for folks in the active trader room earlier on in the weekend, of course, even late last week, and quite a nice move in markets. That's the 9:55 a.m. bar. I'm just going to make sure I point right to it where my vertical crosshairs are on screen. And let's take you back over to SILJ there. The vertical crosshairs on screen right there. That's right before the 10 a.m. data broke, which was the ISM services, and we can clearly see what's happened since then. So quite an incredible rise on a low double-digit priced ETF over there, coming from the $10.60-ish penny area, ending just a little above $11, as you can see right there. Now, is there more upside potential? Well, the market did come into the end of the day showing momentum is still intact. And here's my ES chart. Got to do a little bit of live trading in front of folks in the active trader room today. And you can see a gross profit of about $350. Now, not all of it was done in front of them, and all trading comes with risk. Remember to consult your registered financial advisor before making any trading decisions. While these are real trades in my real live trading account, cannot guarantee that these results will indicate future performance, nor indicative of past track record. When you take a look at the time frames on screen against the S&P 500, we're just looking through the lens of the ES in this standpoint, the weekly chart is still holding support of the slow speed line. That's the magenta speed line you see me pointing to there. The daily chart has come down after a negative divergence, a pullback that we were expecting earlier in the week, and that daily chart in fact saw price action come down towards these rising averages within the champion cross buy zone. That's that opaque green zone that I just highlighted right there for you. Now, price action, to use that tool as high in a highest probability manner as possible, well, we want to know that we especially after seeing things like Rob Hoffman's TRP target 2 being met on the daily chart, being above it on a weekly chart. We want to really have technical perfection to get into that mode of, okay, this is something that has a very high probability to follow through and continues. Well, we're not in that spot. We're in a spot right now where clearly the move up today, valid. Move up off of yesterday's lows, valid. You can see the bottom of the candle, a tail right there for yesterday. And all of this is good stuff, but getting above the next key set of resistive structures is going to be of paramount importance. And to be very clear on that, on a daily chart, you can see, as I've zoomed in right now, the next resistive structures are in twofold. We've got the 5290 area, the slow speed line, and we've got, of course, the top of the champion cross buy zone and the fast speed line sitting right there. Now that then opens the door for potential continuation up, but those would be some fairly significant resistive structures. Now, if I go to the very right-hand chart over here, which is the 4-hour chart, it still is in a sell signal state. But we've got momentum to the upside. As you can see right over here, we've got a positive momentum shift. We actually got a confirmed TRP buy signal, and there's some targets up over here, as you can see, 53.12. But we're still dealing with a champion cross sell zone. This in totality means watch your back. The market is not in the free and clear. We know it's a stretched market, but as that market tide rises, could we see some follow through in precious metals? Well, you've seen the dollar come down, significant move down, more likely to slow down in that decline tomorrow. Some follow through from those trying to catch up on precious metals into the open of tomorrow morning. And then I want to be very cautious, because until the sell signals are off the tape completely and we're in the free and clear, we gotta be very careful with risk in the market. I hope that this video has added some insight. Join me for the upcoming Wealth 365 Summit by simply going to joinziad.com. It starts next Monday, April the 8th. If you like hearing how we connect the market together and identify opportunities, evaluate them, and then execute using high-powered strategies and tools, just like you saw in this video and one's gone by, well, I'll be teaching you all about that and much more. Go to joinziad.com, get your seat. It is going to be the best one yet. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching.